Hey, welcome to Bikes, Boats, and Bivouacs. We're going to take a look at the new to me tow vehicle for the camper. First of all, you see the existing rig. Many of you know I picked this up from my youngest brother when he moved to Florida. Well, now another brother needs this up in New Hampshire, building a cabin on his property, so he needs a bigger truck. So I sold this one to my brother. So this is our new tow vehicle, and this is a used vehicle. This is a 2022 F-150 Supercab XL, and it has the certified pre-owned Ford warranty, so the drivetrain, motor, that's all guaranteed through 100,000 miles or year 2029. And when I bought this truck, it had 16,800 miles on, so low miles, locally owned, traded back in at the Ford dealer that sold it. So I picked it up. So a couple things I had to do to it. The grandsons said they had trouble getting into the back, so I put the running boards on it. I ordered a new set of racks for it because my brother needs the racks on the other one to haul stuff up the mountain. And I picked up the kayak racks on the top. It does have a bed liner in here, and you can see my bicycle rack fits in here, even though this bed is just a little bit narrower. The bolted on system for the Honda Groms, I'll have to modify a little bit. I have to cut maybe 3 inches off the bar, but that's an easy fix. And these brackets, this was maybe 120 bucks for that system, and maybe 40 for the racks on the top. And you don't have to bolt this in. There's J hooks that you can tie this in, so it's not permanent. But with the amount of traveling I do, I wanted to bolt them in. So we did that, got all that done. And then the Phoebe basket fits on here. I ordered these mats, and they're made specifically for the Supercab, so front and back. One of the reasons I was willing to buy this, even though it had the smaller doors, it has a front-facing back seat, so the booster seats work in here. And then if we're not going to be dealing with the kids, this all comes out and this seat flips up, and then you have more floor storage here. So that's going to work for me. I don't mind the suicide doors. As far as the towing capacity, this has the 3.3 liter V6 in it with a 10-speed transmission. So the towing capacity is a little over 8,000 pounds. And of course, the heaviest thing I pull is this camper. And this camper is 4,300 pounds, and you can take another 1,000 pounds of gear. So at the most, I'm maybe 5,300. And I don't like to be right up against the max towing weight. So, you know, that's about 60-65% of the capacity. Now, this one had the 6.4 liter. Even with the camper, I could step on that pedal and it would go. The F-150 with that V6 is a little more sluggish because it doesn't have the motor, but in the Ram I would get 10 miles to the gallon when I was towing. In the Ford I get 12.5, so that's 25% better gas mileage while I'm towing. And when I'm not towing, I used to get between 15 and 17 in the Ram, and now I get 21 to 22. So big savings on operating costs. Now, one other thing that I had to switch to is the hitch. I went back to my weight distribution hitch. On the Ram 2500, I didn't have to do that. It was beefy enough, there was no sway. And if you remember, that was one of the ways I wrecked my back, was lifting that 100-pound weight distribution hitch that herniated 2 of my discs. So I had to come up with a system so I didn't have to lift it. And you can see it right here. I have it on this little dolly with wheels, and that block puts it right at the right height so I can wheel that over and slide it in and I don't have to lift it. So with that system, I can use the weight distribution hitch and it's not going to create more issues for my back. So that is the new tow vehicle, and so far it's done a pretty decent job at towing. I did have to have a brake controller installed in there, so I think that was a couple $100 to do that. But that is the new rig. So you will be seeing this thing around. The other reason that I went down to the 1/2 ton from the 3/4 ton, the next camper that I get won't be larger, it'll be smaller. So we're thinking down the road, you know, as the grandkids become more and more involved in the school stuff, you know, they are probably going to have less time available to camp, and we'll switch to a smaller rig, either with a small single bunk camper, or maybe my favorite design is a dinette in the back and the bed in the front with the bathroom and the kitchen in the middle. And those rigs that I've been looking at, you know, they're 3,500 to 3,700 pounds. So they're about 600 pounds lighter and a couple of feet shorter. This is 27 feet tip to tip. And the next camper is probably going to be less than 25 feet. I'm guessing probably more like 23. And speaking of the camper, let's talk about the things I had to do maintenance-wise over the last 4 years to maintain it. Okay, so I'm going to start on the outside. There are some things I had to do to this rig over several years, but none of the maintenance was really expensive. I had to put a new battery on it. The battery was getting too weak, so I replaced that. That was $100. This marker light went bad, so I had to replace that. That was $32. So about $132 or so far. Come on, baby. Notice there's brand new tread on those tires. So I just replaced the tires on this after 4 years and a lot of travel. I don't want to wear tires down to the point where they blow. So I replaced them, and I have tire minders to put on here that monitor pressure and temperature. So 4 tires, $380 installed. So we had to do that. So on the outside, that's really all we had to do. So go in on the inside. So a couple things in here. The faucet had cracked after year 2, so I replaced that with the exact same one. I believe that was around $40. And the water pump, here's the switch for the water pump. I replaced the water pump this year, so year 4, and that was $62. So they were the 2 main components that I had to replace in here. So if you're keeping track between the tires, everything, I'm at about, you know, a little under $650 over 4 years. And then in the bathroom, This panel came loose, so I put some screws in there just to kind of hold it on there. But that wasn't really an issue. Everything else is good in there. And there was one other issue that I had. If you open these cabinets, you can see here is the little latch hinges, and on that cabinet and that cabinet and that bottom drawer, these screws became loose. So what we do is we pull them out, we fill the gap with Gorilla Glue, and then we put them back in place. And that's actually really held well. That is really held up. So, you know, nice job on that. And that has solved that problem. That's really worked well. Other than that, it's really been reliable. Now, this trailer has got some use, right? So it's been to Florida twice, all the way down to the Keys. It's been to Michigan. It's been to Indiana. It's been all through Canada, from Niagara Falls over to the Maritimes, and then down the east coast of Pennsylvania. It's been up and down the east coast of Pennsylvania, out to Pigeon Forge several times. So it's used. This is not a camper that just sits around. If you look at the playlist on the channel, you'll see all the places we've gone. It's held up really well, especially at the price point that these Jaycos sell at. So overall, really pleased with the Jayco. If I had to replace it with another Jayco, I would probably be looking at the 197 MB or the 210 QB, which is kind of got like the dinette living area in the back and the bed in the front. But as long as the grandkids are going to continue to want to go camping, we'll probably keep the bunkhouse. The other issue that I would like on the next camper, if possible, is to fit in the garage. And my KZ180TH did fit in there. I know a couple of the Apex Nanos will fit in there. I have a height restriction of around 9 feet 8.5 inches. I could probably stretch it with a little bit of modification to 9, 10.5, somewhere around there. So that is one thing I've been thinking about, you know, what can fit in the garage to preserve it when we're not using it. So that's the update on the camper and the new to me F-150 hauling vehicle, adventure truck. So look, if this video helped you or you enjoyed it, consider subscribing to the channel. It's free, it helps me out a lot. Also, ring that bell, you'll be notified every time I put up a new video, and give the video a thumbs up. That helps it be seen by a wider audience. But more important than all that, go have some fun out there, and thanks for watching.